name is Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And we have a new doctor. We really have a new doctor out of nowhere to talk about, which I have to tell you, I really hate the Chris Chibnall, Jodie Whittaker era. After I've let this episode sit for a little bit, which was far more popular on Facebook than I thought it'd be. It was really overwhelmingly popular from what I saw. Because I wasn't like a massive fan of it at all. I have to give kudos for pulling out the surprise and bringing out the surprise Doctor, which in of itself is interesting. But before we go further, if you like Doctor Who, which I guess we all kind of do, that's why we're here, I'm giving away Doctor Who DVDs and Blu-rays. The next one I'm giving away is the complete complete full series with David Tennant and Catherine Tate. Fantastic series. Davros shows up. Actually, if it buy the book by Benjamin Cook and Russell T Davies, mainly Russell T Davies, The Writer's Tale, the second edition of it, there's a lot of inside emails talking about the creation of that season, and it's really I think they talk about it. Yeah, and so you see the the original proposals. So yeah, all you have to do to win it is subscribe to the channel and hashtag what's the hashtag? Adipose. I'll put the instructions in the video notes, and we do the drawing at the TARDIS Zone live stream. That goes out on Sunday nights, about an hour or two after Doctor Who airs in the UK. If you're new channel, the tone of that podcast is very none of us really like this this era at all. But look, if you want to come on and make your points, say something in the chat, we will treat you respectfully. I mean, I'm talking about people who like the Jodies. We will treat you respectfully because, guys, we all like Doctor Who. We just have a very big disagreement about this Doctor Who right now, this current Doctor Who, which I guess is part of the course of fandom. Just this time, I think I'm right. So I'm the one complaining. So okay, fine. So the Doctor Who this week, they pulled out a bold move. They really did. It really was a bold move, and they revealed a Doctor, a new Doctor we haven't heard about before. Yeah, so that gives us a lot to talk about. Okay, so the first thing that I found. The first and main thing I found off-putting about it was the actress whose name I don't know off the top of my head. I really should have looked up. Did a fine job. I had no problem with that. In fact, I tell you, I preferred her way more than Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. I'll talk about that in a minute. I really, she was so much better. I feel it's demeaning of her. I feel it's demeaning to her because she was hired because of her skin color and because of her gender. I just feel that's a horrible way to look at people. I just do, I don't think we should be judging people on these, I think, meaningless criteria, and doing it is fundamentally wrong, and that's really my core dislike of the Chibnall era. It's very representative in that. Having said that, I also can't stand Whittaker's portrayal of the Doctor, which I find there's no point where she goes on screen and go, oh great, it's Jodie Whittaker. Yeah, there's just no point where I'm happy to see her at all. I just don't think she has the chops for this role at all. And the writing, generally speaking, has been just painfully abysmal, above and beyond, using the show very, very poorly as a vehicle to put forth an ideological agenda. I won't say political; it's ideological. Because I'm kind of, I was going to say, I kind of consider myself middle of the road, but then everybody does. Nazis do, I consider myself middle of the road. So that's bullcrap, okay? Everybody thinks they're middle of the road, but I kind of was, I just think, well, people are equal. And now I get the feeling this Doctor hates me because I'm a white male. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be a white male. It just kind of happened. Okay, so that was the first impression. But I think she's a fine actress. But okay, here's where I think they went wrong with her. Okay. So when she's revealed to be the Doctor, and we're going to go into how she could be a Doctor. We could just put forward some theories, which is another reason that the people who really don't like the Chibnall era are very upset about this. When she finally revealed a Doctor, they had her in a very traditional doctorish outfit. It was a very Edwardian Victorian feel, very masculine, but with some hint of dash of real doctorish colour, and which is good. And it didn't really look, it didn't really work on her. I didn't get the feeling that she was comfortable in it. It was her natural personality. You know, Matt Smith, when he took on the role, they tried him in all these different outfits. And you're in Doctor Who magazine, you can see like the different like new romantic kind of look they're going, and it just you can see he was like, but when and that outfit he had, from the first 2 seasons, I think, was one that he really invented himself, and I think it came from him watching Tomb of the Cybermen, a fantastic Troughton story. And you could see like in his eyes, when he put it on, that was him. That was his expression of Doctor. So the feeling I got from her, and I really should have looked up her name because she really did a great. You know what? I'm going to look it up now. Okay, fine. I just put it on my computer. I haven't even got my Chrome started yet. So while that little bouncy thing's going on, it didn't look like a natural expression of her. Like also with David Tennant, when he really needed that coat. That's something he really wanted, and it was like he expressed himself. I think also with Capaldi with his like red lined jacket. Oftentimes when I want to watch a Doctor Who rambling, I'll watch Capaldi because I really get the feeling I'm watching modern Doctor Who, and I get like hints of Tom Baker and John Pertwee kind of molded together. Even though I feel he probably had the one of the weakest runs of the new season of this new not new season of the 2000. I won't call it reboot because it's not this second second gasp of Doctor Who. Fine. So I don't. So I understand why they did it because they wanted to establish her very much as being the Doctor. And I read. This is from scrolling on Facebook. I didn't read the articles, but they were saying she is definitely the Doctor. It never occurred to me that she wasn't the Doctor. That was never a thing. But so I understand why they went for that outfit and for that look because they want to establish her as the Doctor. However, because my computer's just opened up now let's have a look. Okay, looking at my name, it is Jo Martin. Jo Martin is the Doctor, and she really wasn't good. But okay, so the costume, I didn't feel was naturalistic for her. The costume was a good costume though, and I really, I think it would have worked better if it was an actor who would feel like they could inhabit it, which I really got the feeling that she didn't. Also, that costume, like, it's very very traditional Doctor Who, so you would expect him to have a much more like old-fashioned cadence way of talking. Well, her style was very naturalistic, very very current day, very modern, very naturalistic. So I think you have too many things put together. But telling you, as a Doctor, I was kind of on board for her, Just like again, this is just looking at it in hindsight. But again, I just wish I wish if that was the look they wanted to go for. I wish they found an actress that fitted it rather than trying to just go, oh, look at her skin color and her gender must be right. Like, no. But okay, so the other thing is they wrote her much better than the Doctor. Okay, she was certainly more violent, but she seemed to be smart. Yeah, this is what I liked about her. She was clearly the most intelligent person in the room, even when she was with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. And I loved that, she kept saying, why are you such a moron? Shut up, just don't tell them. Because, like, this is something that I've often said while watching the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who. Like, just how are you so stupid, And I don't, see, this is what I really don't know. Why are they writing Jodie like she's an idiot? It's beyond me. How does anybody think that looks good? But again, look, the reaction on Facebook, I saw be overwhelmingly positive for this episode. And again, in terms of an episode, it delivered a decent mystery. So let's talk about that mystery. Who is this Doctor? Where could she come from? So the rumor that I think that most of like the fandom Menace people were reacting to was that they were going to be revealed there was an entirely separate regeneration cycle before Hartnell. And that's going to be completely female, and because there's this thing that like when they sex change, when they gender swap a character to make them from male to female, as they do quite often now, they also have it that the new female version of it can't get power from a male version, so they have to retcon it that somehow it's a female. They got power over female. I think it just hurts your brain trying to work out how all these like convoluted things these rules they have to put into place because they're racist. So I think in a sense of like Something that made me crazy while I was watching the Picard episode was how Picard had to explain that Romulans were people. Yeah, like really? Okay, first it's a federation, one of the most humanistic organization of all time, of a gazillion different species, and they're like, and they're xenophobic now. But like, yeah, people are just people. Stop labeling them as like, I don't know, by who they want to sleep with or what they look like. Okay, so yeah, fine. So that was really the rumor. I think those people who are upset are angrily reacting against, because they don't want this like it's like shoehorned into the continuity that's going to break everything. Now, this is different, I think, from when they had the whole Clara. When Clara first we got her first resolution that she was the impossible girl, and how she like threaded herself through all the Doctor's previous incarnations. And that really worked. I love that episode. It was like the last episode of that season where you had they cut in all the footage of the other Doctors and colorized it or whatever. Just to make it all work. And you saw Clara in the background. That I found was reverential to Doctor Who. It wasn't tearing apart the continuity. Where I feel if this rumor is true, then it is. But I don't think this rumor can be true, and I'll explain why. Firstly, her TARDIS was a police box TARDIS. Now, surely Chibnall isn't stupid enough to say this is a previous incarnation of the Doctor before Hartnell, and she has the police box TARDIS. Like that, it was very heavily intimated. Intimated? Yeah, intimated. I used the right word. It was very heavily intimated that the police box was the form the TARDIS chose right before the first episode and Unearthly Child, because they landed in 1960s England. So it was very heavily intimated that, but it would make no sense that prior to that, it's especially a prior regeneration cycle. It's what was I going to say? That it would be the police box. It makes zero sense, in fact. That's the other thing, though. I love the TARDIS so much better. I really like the Joe Martin Doctor a lot better so far with her 10 minutes of screen time than the Jodie Whittaker Doctor. Really, if they wanted to do a switch and have her take over from Whittaker next season, I would really be actually on board for that. That would pique my interest. That would be interesting. Because again, I think she's she had a commanding presence about her, which I think worked. Just got to change a costume that's something that she's comfortable moving. And again, I love the TARDIS. So this is clearly from way back in the Doctor's past, though, because we have the Hartnell S TARDIS with the little modern day Gallifreyan symbols animating themselves in the background. That was pretty good. She didn't have a sonic screwdriver. Sonic screwdriver, I think, was introduced. Was introduced by Troughton, I think, in Free from the Deep, which is coming out this year as an animated episode. I'm really looking forward to. So the Doctor invented and built the sonic screwdriver. Not really invented, but he certainly built it. So this is prior to that. The Doctor seems to be much less pacifist. She said. Although this is something that the Seventh Doctor would do. Have when she had Gat, the person in charge of the Judoon, who's also a Gallifreyan. But was she a Time Lord? I don't know. She had Gat shoot herself by trying to shoot. That's like very doctory. The Doctor would do. Not something this Doctor would do, but yeah, the Doctor doesn't use guns, but the Doctor will poison somebody, throw them into an acid swamp, or all kinds of things, especially if they're a monster. But yeah, so that seemed like kind of a doctory thing to do. So if she's Gallifreyan, if she's a time lady, was the Doctor working for the CIA as an operative, possibly? That would make sense. And she wanted to escape, but I think the only thing I can think of that really would work is if this is an alternate universe Doctor, which is something they haven't done before, and done for good reasons, because then you can have like Infinity Doctors, which actually was a title of a rather mediocre book on the BBC book range. I think by Lance, not Lance Parkin. I can't remember who it was by. So The problem you run in with that is when they started doing parallel universes with in the Russell T Davies era, they really established there was only one Doctor in the universe, and that's why they gave him. That's why it was okay for him to go and live in the Rose universe. I understand that's kind of a right now. That was what, a good 10 years ago. It's a forgotten piece of lore for the normies. So that's probably why it is something that's not going to be adhered to. But I think the biggest fear why we are scared of this is because it sets up a good mystery. I'm not going to argue. It sets up a very good mystery. But so many times they set up good mysteries, and I don't think Chibnall has the I just don't think he has it to pull it off without it being done really badly and stupidly. I've decided to try and give them benefit of the doubt because that's I think that's just the right thing to do. Even though when I do that, I always end up with egg all over my face. But that's just what happens. So yeah, again, listen, we are in an interesting era of Doctor Who right now. That's certainly for sure. I believe I think it's a Chinese curse. I'm not, if it's not, if it is, I apologize. I can't remember where it comes from. The curse is you should live in interesting times. We Doctor Who fans are indeed living in interesting times. But if you want to remember times when we're all far more unified, far more happy, then hashtag adipose to win this DVD set. So many great extras on these that we don't have to, like Doctor Who Confidential. That was brilliant. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, but what can you do? Doctor Who just isn't that popular anymore. Before I go, I'm going to give you my guess, my updated guess for the average audience figure for season 12, which I've been following it really carefully, and it seems to this episode was the first one that didn't lose ratings in Whittaker's run. The first time that she's ever had an episode, I think, that went up instead of down. Oh no, the Newsday episode went up slightly from the episode 10 of the Turgid season 11. So he did that fine. So, but in general, it's the first time the ratings weren't in decline. But I think they're probably going to hover around there, which means probably I think that probably average rating was going to be 5.2 to 5.4, and the season average, because you had a higher one at the beginning, will probably. I'm going to hit my guess now, and what's it? It's going out on January 28th. Let's see how close I am. On January 28th, I'm predicting a 5.6 million viewer average. That's including iPlayer and including the 4-screen, whatever the hell that is thing. The final rating 5.6 million average, which will make it significantly the lowest rated season since the revival, indeed. So the lowest rated season before then was Capaldi's, which was 6.2. Still doesn't bring down Whittaker's overall average because the average for the last year was 8.67. So yeah, let's do the math, okay? Let's do the math. I think it still brings her up. So Capaldi's average, when you added up his entire run, was 7.11 million. So let's do 8.67. That was last year average plus 5.59, which is minus. Divided into 2 gives her almost identical to Capaldi's. Gives her a 7.13 overall. But 7.13 after starting huge and being in constant freefall. So, let's wait and see. But my prediction for this season will be a 5.6 average. 5.6 average. Let's wait and see. My name is Sealer Beck and the Rabbi for another planet. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you love Jodie, I saw I got a comment from a Jodie lover on my review video. Really angry. I like... sometimes I like hateful messages on my video because it means, I've arrived. I'm a person now. People can be mean to me. That's really nice. But if you're Jodie lover, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Well, I'm always happy to have a conversation and dialogue. I do try and respond to all the comments. Anything you want to let me know. If you want me to do a video or anything, just let me know. My name's Sealer Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.